Happy New Year's, Aries. Welcome to your January 2022 astrological forecast. So the sun and many other planets are in Capricorn right now. So they're in your 10th house. That's where you have the sign of Capricorn. So Pluto is still here. Okay, the sun is here up until the 19th. There's a new moon in Capricorn on the 2nd. Venus is still in Capricorn in retrograde motion, but turns direct on the 29th, I think it is. Yes. And Mercury actually ends up back here in retrograde motion on the 25th, and Mars moves into Capricorn on the 24th. So Capricorn is your 10th house of career. Okay, that's where your midheaven is. Your midheaven is the cusp of the 10th house, okay? So it's your most public house. It's how you're known by reputation professionally and personally. It's how the public views and speaks about you publicly. Okay, so, but it's also personally your status, your personal status, even if you don't work. Okay, so it's not really your career, but it's just how you're known, how people know you by, okay? So having all these planets here, obviously, you know, and Mercury was just here. Mercury actually starts off the month on the 2nd in Aquarius, okay? So, obviously, you know, there's something going on, like in your career. You either are looking for a better position within the company you already work for, or you're looking for a completely new job. If you're self-employed, you're, you know, trying to attract better clients or more prestigious clients. Or, you know, you're influenced in some way or other. You're just trying to branch out somewhere, okay? As far as your personal status goes, you know, because you may not work at all. You could be retired or whatever, you know, but your status and your public persona is still out there right now. Okay, so around the new moon, if it is in regards to a new position as far as career goes, that's when you would either hear about it, be contacted about it, or actually start a new position at that time. A lot of, you know, companies, the first of the year, you know, everything changes. So that would be the 2nd, which is like Sunday. So whatever, you would be, this is new moon or any moon. Is always a few days before and a few days after. Okay, so you could be starting something new on, let's say, Monday. Okay. Or you could, if you are, let's say, like in the public eye, okay, or you're some kind of public speaker, or whatever it is your job puts you in front of the camera or in front of large groups of people, okay, this could be a day that you actually do something like that around the new moon, where you're, you know, right now, just because you have Venus for as long as it has been in your 10th house and in the aspect of conjunct Pluto. So I actually did a separate video on that, so you might want to listen to that. The video is Venus conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, okay, because it's in effect for like 3 months, right? So people are really, you know, viewing you, they're mesmerized by you, they're hanging on your every word if you are someone who has that kind of influence in whatever it is that you do, okay, for a living, but even what you do personally. So you could have a lot of clout, and you are able to influence people around you, even if it's just like in your own neighborhood. You know, you're still somebody that, you know, people go to for like advice or your opinion on something or other. So that's really in effect here. But, you know, Mars, when Mars moves into this area on the 24th, okay, Mars is like the, you know, it's in this house, it means that you could possibly be competing for some kind of position or an award of some kind, or attention or recognition, okay? So maybe you are actually on the receiving end of something like that right now. You know, you could be, I don't know, it could be anything actually, but if you were a politician, boy, you'd really be doing really well right now, you know, with Mars here. But before Mars moves into uh, your 10th house on the 24th, it's still in Sagittarius up until the 23rd in your 9th house, okay? Where, you know, Sagittarius is the natural ruler of the 9th house, and having Mars here just makes you a little bit more interested in 9th house things, such as long distance travel, okay? Contact with people who live in another country, or are just foreigners, period, or someone who lives at a distance. This is the house of media and publishing. It's an internet house, the house of higher learning. But as far as travel goes, okay, lots of travel, but adventures of any kind, okay? So you know, there could be, it's also the house of legal matters, okay, but it is also the house of higher learning, or any kind of knowledge, and philosophy and spirituality and religious beliefs, okay, all kinds of stuff, right? So there could be something that possibly you were maybe learning, even if it's just on your own, because you thought it would possibly help you get whatever position you may be interested in, okay? Even if it's in the near future, even if it's like not right now, you may have just had someone showing you how to do something. It doesn't have to be like a really like a regular class, you know. You could even just be watching like YouTube videos to learn something, but it looks like it really is helping you in some way or other, something that you've learned, even if it's just making you a lot more interesting to the public, okay, that you have experience or are interested in something or other. It could be a little different. It's not like your usual everyday kind of thing, you know, but it is something that might like set you apart from any kind of competition that maybe you might have at this time for a better position, okay? There's a full moon on the 17th in the sign of Cancer, and where you have Cancer in your chart is your 4th house. It's directly across from your 10th house, and I really don't see this being too much of a big deal. Your 4th house is your home life, where you live and the people you live with. It's your family, or a roommate, or if you just live by yourself. It's also your past and your childhood, whatever. So usually around, you know, something like this is something happens in your personal life, okay, or your home life, a little maybe minor crisis or whatever that you have to take care of. So it's like you have to put your career or your job or whatever on the back burner while you take care of some kind of personal matter, okay? So you just have to, like, I would say, like, in a way, make sure that maybe your personal life doesn't become your public life. Somebody, if you are in competition with anyone for a position especially, they could be, you know, trying to dig up some dirt on you or something or other and use that against you. And if anything like that was going to happen, this would be around the time that that would come to light, is around that full moon of the 17th. Okay, so now the sun moves from Capricorn into Aquarius on the 19th, and where you have Aquarius in your chart is your 11th house, and Mercury starts out here on the 2nd. Okay, in Aquarius, then turns retrograde on the 14th and falls back in to Capricorn on like the 25th, I think it is. Yeah. But it starts out here in your 11th house of sociability, your friends, your acquaintances, where you go to hang out. any kind of organization that you belong to. This is social media, okay? So if you're not physically going out, you know, you're still online possibly, you have like a lot more contact with people at this time, especially with Mercury here. But Saturn is also still here, okay? Jupiter and Saturn were in Aquarius together, but Jupiter just moved, and now all you do is have Saturn here along with the Sun and other planets, but Saturn will stay here on its own. Like when Jupiter was here at the same time, it's kind of softened whatever effect Saturn had. It creates like a buffer area, but now that Jupiter has moved, you're getting like the full effects of, like everybody is, the full effects of just having Saturn in Aquarius by itself. And it is actually one of the ruling planets of Aquarius, so it does well here, but it does put a little bit of a damper on the 11th house's dreams, hopes, and wishes also, okay? And a lot of times there's either a friend, a so-called friend, okay, that tries to prevent you from pursuing any of these things, okay? Usually out of jealousy. They do a number on trying to like get your group of friends to turn against you. For whatever reason, but it's because this person is jealous of you, and it's funny calling them a friend. Why would you call someone like that a friend? Okay, but they could be just a person that's part of your crowd. They're not even your friend. They're like an acquaintance. They're a friend of a friend, but you can't get rid of them because every time you're together with your friend, this friend comes along too. You know what I mean? They put a damper on a lot of things in your life, you know, but they're not like a huge role, though, in your life, okay? It's just something to keep in mind, that there's going to be somebody there that tries to block you in a lot of things that you try to do. But if you belong to any kind of organization even, there could be someone there that doesn't want to see you move up in that organization. They are jealous of you, okay? And especially coming off of like all of this good stuff that's going on in your 10th house of, you know, your public life. Maybe your reputation precedes you, and they already know all about you, you know, so I don't know, I would have to just say I believe somebody here is going to be jealous of you one way or another. So, but it's something I'm sure you'll pick up on right away. They're not like fooling you, okay? So anyways, Jupiter did move into Pisces at the end of December. Neptune is already in Pisces, and I did do a video on this also with Jupiter in Pisces, and I took into consideration that Neptune is also there at the same time, which really does change this transit. Okay, it makes these two planets together are very spiritual, and the 12th house, the hidden house, okay, the house of secrets, is also the house of charity and doing good works, helping people or being helped. You know, you could have been doing this all along with Neptune there. You could have been helping someone, let's say, like, this is the house of confinement, even in your own mind. That's why they call the 12th house the house of self-undoing, because it also governs your subconscious mind, and you can actually drive yourself crazy by like overthinking things or just thinking negatively. Okay, that's not to say that that's going to happen with these planets here, especially with Neptune here, though, you know. But Neptune here should like give you really, really beautiful in color dreams, okay. But and help to bring out your psychic ability. But again, this is like the house of confinement and prisons of some kind, literally even. You may know someone who is imprisoned at this time, or someone who is ill, possibly in a nursing home or personal care home, or is just confined to their home in some way or other. So maybe all along you've been helping them. You know, it's not like a big secret, but it could be. You know, it could be something you don't just, that's not like the first thing out of your mouth when you meet someone. You know, like, hey, I'm doing this and that for this person, whatever. Okay, so now that Jupiter's here, it kind of enhances that whole thing. You may become part of a charitable organization, okay, that does take care of people in some way or other, especially those who are confined to an area, okay. You may also, though, be on the receiving end of any kind of help, because Jupiter in the 12th house lots of times brings about someone helping you behind the scenes. A lot of times you're not even aware of it. So there could be someone, even if they're just putting in a good word for you or watching your back, and they don't even tell, you know, like nobody tells you, or you're unaware of it, and they don't feel the need to tell you about it, you know. This could be someone you don't even know very well. It could be someone in your company, a higher up even, but somebody that is secretly watching your back and not letting you make mistakes, or let anyone put you up like in a bad light. You know what I mean? They want you to succeed, so they're like protecting you in a way. Or it could actually be that you do know that you have someone helping you. It could be a relative even, or it could be a close friend. And it doesn't always have to be a secret, okay? But you have help behind the scenes. Having Jupiter here, though, even just on its own, does bring about a lot of optimism in your life. Not that it wasn't there before, but overall, you know, Jupiter is about to move into your sign, I believe in May. Jupiter usually spends a full year in each zodiac sign, but Pisces are getting the short end of the stick this year, you know. It's only here from like December 28th to like May of this year, and it falls back into Pisces for like a month, but it's only in like the late degrees, you know. Then it goes back into Aries into next year. So you've got, and oh, the last Jupiter transit that was in Aries, I believe you guys got shortchanged, because it just zipped right through there. You know, it was like, what? You didn't even really get anything out of it so quickly, you know. I mean, how could you, right? So you have something to really look forward to, but I'll be doing a separate video on that one too. But right now you're having all your opportunity. Wherever Jupiter is transiting, that's where your good fortune and opportunity and the ability to expand and your interest even, but do things that you've never done before. That's what's going on in your 12th house. Okay, so this is the house of secrets and behind the scenes actions by you or someone else. So you could actually be like, I don't know, learning something, or you've taken up some new hobby or something or other that you really either like or actually love, and you're doing this thing, and whenever Jupiter moves into your first house, it may become a part of, I don't know, whatever. It could be a part of your, like a new livelihood for you, or just something that you enjoy doing. Okay, but you'll expand on it even more. Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Aries on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Libra. And those dates are the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of speculation or gambling, and anything to do with children is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 31st. The best time for money is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for your career is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 29th, and 30th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 1st, 13th, 14th, 15th, 27th, and 28th. So I'd like to thank my subscribers for continuing to support me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you might want to do that now. I would really appreciate it. And click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. Also, check out my weekly forecast, and in the description box below there's a link to something called Ask Me a Question. It's for, people who don't really want to know like a whole lot about their chart. They're only interested in like knowing one thing or two things, whatever. But if you would like to have your chart done, there's also a link there to my website. Okay, so Happy New Year, everyone, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.